Hey, what's up? This is Big Lee with Hustler Spirit. Here talking again to my man, Fleece Johnson, the booty man. Another beautiful day in the city. What's up, Fleece? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great.
Looking good with that hat on. Huh?
Yeah.
Look like you in player mode.
Nah, I'm not a player no more.
You're not a
man.
player no more?
Nah, this is my low-key hat.
That's what's up. We're going to get right into it today. We ain't going to waste your time. We was talking about some characters you met down in prison, man, that I was tripping off of. Let's talk about that, man. What kind of characters did you meet down there and explain what they was doing?
Well, when I first went to prison, it was February the 18th, 1977, at Eddyville prison. But I went to prison in 74, but when I hit the maximum security prison, it was in 77. I heard a whole lot about these prisons, right? You know, I'm in a reformatory, so everybody, when they holler, inmates going to Eddyville, inmates are crying, they're hiding and everything. Please don't send me down there, please, man. So Eddyville had a bad name that, you know, you go there, you subject never come out. So when I get down there, I'm 17. I turned 17 when I hit there. So they had this motherfucker in there, they call him Duck Man, white dude.
Duck?
Duck Man.
Like a duck?
Like a real goddamn duck in a pond.
Okay.
And this motherfucker, he had his shoes and shit, broke his shoes painted. He painted his shoes and painted ducks and shit all over his shoes, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking, maybe he's just one of them old crazy motherfuckers or something. You know, fuck it. But Duck Man don't talk to nobody. And I started doing all the shit that I was doing in there. So everybody in prison think I'm the crazy motherfucker. Because I'm fighting. You know, they never had nobody come through at maximum security prison, especially a black person in that racial prison, and just fight from the jump. So they ain't used to that shit. They used to black people coming out and bowing down. Yes, sir, no, sir, and let all the white people treat them like shit. But when I came down there at 17, nigga, I came to scrap. Nigga, I'm ready to fight whatever, nigga, King Kong, nigga. But when I ran into this goddamn Duck Man, that fucked my whole head up. So he don't talk to people. The serial killers, you know, you meet all of them in prison. But they usually stay to themselves. But Duck Man started talking to me because he thought I was crazy. You know, 'cause I'm fighting the goals and all this shit. So he sat down next to me. He said, how you doing? I looked at him. I said, hey, man, how are you? He said, my name is Duck Man. I said, I know who you are. What you want? He said, I just want to talk to you. Quack. So I looked at him like, you know, hard. Like, and I remember everything people tell me, man, he's dangerous. Police don't fuck with him. He's, you know, 'cause they know I fight any motherfucker. So, this motherfucker started quacking like a duck, man. So I started talking to him. I'm curious about him. So I said, why they call you Duck Man? He said he had a duck that he raised from a baby. Loved the duck, Lucy, some old shit. And I said, what happened to Lucy? He said, well, one day, him and his wife hit on bad times. You know, we all know what bad times is. You know, shit gets hard, bills pile up and all this shit. He said his wife took the dog and cooked it and fed it to him. He didn't even know. She told him it was a special occasion and all this shit. He said their anniversary was coming up, but it wasn't 2 weeks away. So he didn't think it was an anniversary event. You know, she's cooking like it. He said he ate, he said it was so good. He said he rolled his stomach and all this shit. And later, he went on and asked her what type of meat that was or something. She said, I cooked the duck. He said, what duck? He said, your duck, Lucy. This man sat there and told me, he said, well, I told my wife when she told me that, he said, I didn't want to alarm her. I don't want her to know what's coming. He said, because I'm pretty sure my Lucy didn't know what was coming when she chopped his head off. Chopped Lucy's head off to cook it. So he gonna give her the same treatment. He told her that the meal was good. He kissed her, took her in her to lay her down for the bed. Older people take naps, Laid her down, he went in there and got that hatchet. And while she was laying there, not knowing what was getting ready to happen, just like the duck, he wanted to take her through the same shit that she took the duck through. The duck didn't know he was going to get his head chopped off. He said he wanted her the same way. He took that hatchet, went in there, smacked her 2-3 times on the neck, took her whole head off. And that's why they call this motherfucker the duck man. And he walks around quacking like a duck. And quack. All these. So I'm 17 years old in a penitentiary around all these murderers and shit. And this shit is tripping me out, man. I'm like, man, if I fight one of these motherfuckers, I better kill him. I better kill his ass. I fuck him up where he can't come back. Because they some crazy motherfuckers down. I ain't know how to take that shit, bro.
You were 17? I
was 17 years old, a child, bro. All these motherfuckers got forever in a day in the penitentiary. Never getting out.
So a lot of people going to think, when you talk about the Duck Man and the story behind it, in my mind, I've seen a movie. I can't tell you the name of the movie right now, but it seemed like I've watched a movie that depicts that story. When people say, look, okay, now Fleece is making shit up. So,
all right, let me tell you this.
All right.
Let me get to the crunch on it. I'm a real motherfucker. You don't get him no realer than me. I'm not going to set up here on YouTube, any other channel. I'm known all through Louisville and other states, right? I got a good name on myself. And motherfuckers know when it comes out of my mouth, it's coming 100% pure, right? I don't make shit up. Everything I tell y'all on YouTube, guess what? It's already documented. When I say documented, it's on file. It's done been documented, recorded, and it's been put in files and shit. So whatever I tell you, you can look it up. And it's already been filed. I'm telling the truth.
All right, Fleece, that was the Duck Man. That's crazy. You told me about another man that made a doll out of something.
Man, this is what people don't understand in the penitentiary system. Now, God had already said in the Bible, it's not good that a man should be alone. That's why he made a woman. God realized from the beginning of the creation of man that man and man don't work out. Cause you standing there, two men with hard dicks, something gonna have somebody gonna have to do something, bend over or something, man. So he created a woman. But check this shit out. You got people in the penitentiary that's been locked up for 20, 30 years. They got sex drives. They like to come. They like to get off. And a lot of them don't mess with sissies. So they prefer to keep it, out of that department, right? I don't have to go gay to get off, So this one particular dude, in Eddyville prison, they was making dolls. And back in them days, like Eddyville, let me tell you about prison. It's a business. Our prison in Kentucky make all the orange jumpsuits. Inmates make them, and we sell them to different states. Them orange jumpsuits you see inmates in, we make them in Kentucky. We make mattresses, we make blankets and sheets, you know. And so our sewing class in Eddyville has about 250 industrial sewing machines. Well, we can make products the same way you buy them out of a store. It looks the same way, it's sold the same way, same pattern and all that. So this one dude, he got in the sewing class, and he took the cover of a mattress and made him a doll.
A doll?
Yeah, a doll, like a human doll. 6 feet tall.
Shut up, man.
He made it, took some type of plastic shit and put in the vagina, you know, the pussy.
Mm-hmm.
And he put shit like pudding, jelly, jello, all that shit up in her. So when he sat his dick in her, oh God, nigga, you creaming, nigga. You gonna cream soon you come, nigga, your dick is wet soon you go up in there. And he had it real tight, so it felt like a real special pussy that he was. So he fell in love with this doll he made. He called it Lucy. And he would set this motherfucker doll. He made that doll panties, bras, everything, you know, and would set that motherfucker in the cell, but here's what he couldn't do.
So the doll's name was Lucy. The duck's name wasn't Lucy then. You couldn't
No,
remember
the duck,
name.
the duck man, that's a different story.
Okay.
This is Lucy the doll man. The man made a doll called Lucy. So prisons is ran by the administration. Whatever administration is running the prison will determine what the rules and regulations going to be in the prison. So back then when we didn't have a dress code, it was all good. But a new administration came on and they said that shit there got to go. Motherfuckers that got these homemade dolls and shit that they been fucking, we got to take the dolls, cause it ain't sanitized right. Mm-hmm. You know, and dolls were stinking. That motherfucker been fucking that doll for about 10, 15 years. Mm-hmm. And ain't been able to clean it out, so the motherfucker smell like a dead person, right? It's like a real doll. You know, so I remember the day that the guards came to take it, they know they're gonna have trouble because this man saw that doll like it was his actual wife. You know, his mindset was like, this is my wife, man. So when they walked up to his door, they talking about, hey, we come to get the doll. He said, this is not a doll, this is my wife. They said, we come to get it. This motherfucker, they know they had to put him to sleep. He pulled a knife out. They had to shoot him outside the gate with some type of tranquilizer shit to put him to sleep to go in there and get this goddamn nasty ass died out. I tell you, it's a crazy shit that goes on in the penitentiary. That's the one I'm gonna really speak on, is that one.
Go ahead.
All right, check this out. This is to all the, I ain't gonna call y'all sissies, but that's what the society call you, sissies, homosexuals, transgender. Well, check this out. Transgender, sissies, homosexual, whatever you prefer to be called, ladies. I call y'all ladies, good ass ladies. But check this out, baby. There was a sissy in the prison. He called himself Latoya, black. Well, him and another sissy, they robbed a, I heard it was a hitman on the street. He came to Kentucky, and these sissies here, they look like women. Built like them, big old hips, big butts, titties and shit. Thick lips, little features and stuff like a woman, small feet, small hands. So they try to take his dude. And the dude killed one of the sisters and took a knife and threw it at the other one, stuck him in the side of the temple. And he went out a two-story window, the one called Latoya. Check this out. He gets locked up, come back to prison, violated his parole. So now all his hair is falling out. But this sissy here took pride in looking like a lady. So what he did, he took a broken boot, took the shoestrings out, unraveled the shoestrings.
The thread inside the
Yeah,
shoestring?
the thread inside of the string of the shoestring.
Yeah.
Unraveled it where it'd be like her. So he came to me and asked me, he said, Fleece, do me a favor, baby. I said, what's that? He said, will you staple this to my head? I said, staple what to your head? He said, this right here, he had that shit.
You said staple?
Staple. He gonna make hair for his head.
But he gonna staple it to his head?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. So he had it all branched out, so he took it, he said, right here. So I put the staple right there and went, he'll shake like that. I said, God damn. I said, you ready? He said, yeah. So I landed another one. He said, back it up. I said, right there? He said, yeah. So I stapled his whole head. But here's the catch. He came outside swinging his hair and all that shit like that, making it swing. That shit look good as a motherfucker, making him look sexy. But the guards caught on. Because the sun was shining and seen all that staples in his head, all that shit sparkled. So the guard walked up to him and asked him what was making all that shiny stuff come out of his head. So when they found out it was staples, they rolled him up for inflicting bodily injury on yourself, snatched that shit out of his head, right? So he went to the hole. But when he came out of the hole, you know, he don't want nobody to see him bald-headed.
Right.
This was a sissy that took pride in having hair. But you can't buy weaves and wigs in the penitentiary. So what he did, he went right back to the bootstring, unraveled the shit, and he took glue, sugar, honey, and something else he put in there to make a paste that was like Gorilla Glue, right? When he put that shit all over his head, and he could just stick the shit on there, and it would stay.
It would stay?
Man, that motherfucking shit stayed, man. We see this sissy in the shower, bro. Her all the way down his back, shaking his head and shit, washing his hair, and that shit wouldn't come out. But here's the trouble. All that sugar and honey attracted a lot of bees. So when he come out of the shower, he had his little hot pants on and shit, his booty hanging out. He got a big old butt, you know. So he called himself Latoya. So he come out. So he was bending over, tooting his ass out, trying to entice the, you know, the means, right? Show men that, you know, nigga, I'm packing. So I confronted him. I said, hey, Drew. I mean, I ain't gonna call his name out, his actual name. I'm gonna call him Latoya. That's what he went by. I said, hey, look, you got a lot of bees flying around your head, nigga. So he came out with this sissy here. He was like one of them cans that likes to, he'll fight a motherfucker. He said, fuck you, nigga. He said, you niggas always hating on a bitch. When a bitch is trying to look good and shit, nigga, get on away from me, nigga. I said, go on, some stupid motherfucker. So I went back, and bees landed in his head, man. This motherfucker out there bending over and all this shit, trying to entice motherfuckers. And when one of the first bees that stung him, you can almost hear that shit pop. It said, that motherfucker did like that. He started doing all that shit. And bees would turn his ass up, right? He passed out. This motherfucker passed out, right? They took him to the hospital. And they brought him back here, this white thing wrapped. His head was swelled up like this. So this white dude hollered, "Hey, LaToya, who you running to? The Rano?" Sissy went crazy, man. It's black sissy. Fuck you, hoochie. Your mammy. You fucking hunky. I'll kill you with all that old shit, right? Man, I'm just telling you, man, it's some crazy shit that you see in the penitentiary. Crazy. Hey, I want to say this, though. I want everybody out there to know that, yeah, what I believe in and what I don't believe in. I believe in a good society. I believe in people being able to live their life without worrying about being robbed, raped, and traumatized with all the evil shit they traumatize people with nowadays. I said, so I don't want y'all to think I'm doing this shit to make you laugh, whatever. I'm trying to help people, the young people in this country, white, black, Mexican, whatever the color you are, race. I ain't got no but love for you, bro. I'm telling you, prison is the worstest place you ever want to see. You know, y'all out there doing all this crime and violence, and you don't have no idea, like, when you shoot somebody, what do you think? I kill this nigga. But you don't realize that the person you kill probably got family in the penitentiary. 9 out of 10, somebody, they got relatives, friends, or something locked up. So it ain't over when you go to court. That's just the beginning. When you go to prison, you got to fight the whole time you locked up. Think about it. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This is what you'll see in the penitentiary when you go up in there. They had a sissy in there. I never forget it. Named Melissa, black. He come outside one day. It was chow time, lunchtime. He came outside with a towel, a dirty towel, packing it like he had a baby in the goddamn towel. And it was like about 2,000 flies around him. So everybody said, "God damn, what's that?" People actually thought he had a baby. And the baby came out deformed or some old shit. I said, man, a man can't have a baby. What's in the goddamn towel, man? Everybody's scared to go over towards him. I walk over. And his sister's hollering, "Get away, get away, get away. You wake my baby up. You wake my baby up." I said, "Baby." I said, "Come here." He said, "Get away, you." He kept turning away from it. So I grabbed him, turned him around, and flicked the towel over. You know what it was?
What?
It was a baby made out of duty.
Do what?
Duty. Shit. This motherfucker made a baby, molded it out of duty. The whole frame of a baby was made out of duty. This is the shit you'll see when you go to prison. Shit like it. Crazy motherfuckers, just like this motherfucker Benny Johnson. Now, we in the hole. Now, let me tell you something about the beds in the hole. When you go to segregation, what we call the hole, they put you on a steel bed. You get a mattress and stuff sometimes, depends on how you come in. But the beds is made like, they got holes going like about this round. They got holes going across the bed, all the way down the bed like this. about that realm. This dude, Benny, took his dick and stuck it through a hole and was trying to fuck it. And his dick swelled up and got stuck in that hole. So they called the prison nurses and doctors to come over there. So now remember, the bed is still on the wall. The doctor told him straight up, I was next door to him. So I'm standing up at the door listening to this shit. Doctor said, I'm not going in there and touch his man's dick. I'm not going to massage it or try to make it get soft or nothing. Fuck it. He said, I quit my job before I grab that man's dick. The nurse came over, she said she ain't touching it. So they called the engineering department. They came over. Now, they know they can't cut him out because this is a steel bed. If you try all that welding and shit, it's going to heat the bed up and he's going to burn him. He's going to burn him. Mm-hmm. So they took and broke the bed off the wall, the steel bed. His dick is still hooked up through the hole in the bed. So they put a sheet over the front of it so you couldn't see it, and made him pack the bed. So it's motherfucker, when he gets down about a hospital, they call a forklift driver. A forklift came over, lift him up with the bed. He's holding the bed. They lift him up on a forklift, put him on the back of a dump truck, a garbage truck. You know the garbage truck.
Yeah.
And put some gourds in the back, and they took him to Lewis Hospital in Paducah. And when he got there, and them doctors seen what this was, they told the corrections department that they killed all their contracts with the inmates in Eddyville prison. They would not accept another one back at that, This is the kind of shit that happens in prison. I was locked up in a prison where everybody had some sort of issue, a bad issue, man. I'm locked up around motherfuckers that, like one dude, for instance, I started working legal cases, legal aid training. He come to me, he say, hey, Fleece, could you get me back in court? I said, what's the charge? He said, rape. 2 counts. I said, who's the victim? This nigga said, my grandmama. I said, your grandmama? He said, yeah. This nigga said, what gets me? She didn't say nothing the first time. Nigga, hell no. How many grandmamas want to go to court and say my grandson fucking slammed me to the bed and fucked me? She spared you the first time. You came back the second time, took her, and she said, that's enough. Nigga, I can't, my grandson's raping me. This is the type of people I was locked up around. Crazy motherfuckers. Now, I'm in there trying to fight for survival, fight for my life, and I'm a young motherfucker. All these motherfuckers been locked up 30, 40 years, ain't never getting out. You know what they want?
What's that?
Booty. But you know what type of booty they want? Fresh. Fresh booty. Like virgin almost, They want that ass that is, ain't no motherfucking in the head, right? Good ass, And they was all here me. I already know I was a target. You go to the shower, man. I go to the shower, and we had, in our shower house in Eddyville, we had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 poles. And every pole had like about 8 or 9 shower heads around the pole. So when you get in the shower naked and you turn around, whoever's in the next shower head will be this close to you. So I used to tell people when I get in the shower and the motherfucker try to get that shower next to me, I say, hey man, get the next shower, bro. I don't want a motherfucker all up close to me and shit, right? But I'm gonna tell you what. I knew in my heart when I got in that shower, I look around and shit. And you know, it ain't so much as you looking around to stare at people's private parts and shit like that. I don't do that. But I look around and I notice everything was calm when I first came in, but now I look around and everybody's dicks is hard. So I know they on some freak shit in her, man. So, you know, you don't want to say nothing to a motherfucker unless somebody really actually step to you and proposition you, right? So you sitting there, you say, man, this is the type of shit I'm telling you young motherfuckers, anybody. You out here doing all this stupid shit out here. If you get locked up, bruh, it's over. And plus, all you gangsters and shit out there, I done saw you motherfuckers in penitentiary, right? These is the main motherfuckers. The gangsters, the ones that like to shoot up society, shoot motherfuckers' mothers and kids and all this shit. I done seen these same motherfuckers come into tough motherfuckers that rob the whole community, neighborhoods and shit. Come in there, suck dicks, get broken down, take it in the ass, and all this shit. But they gangsters. And, ooh, let me hit this one thing, though. Can I finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
And now, here's the main thing that the gangsters was doing. They come in prison. They done already gave them all, you know, their mamas and them done already told them stay out of trouble. You're going to end up in prison. They ain't won't listen to nobody. So they go out there, get caught up in something where they got to shoot their gun. Mm-hmm. They kill somebody, get killed. Well, these motherfuckers, they go to prison. They have no clue of what to expect in there. They have no clue that they done took everybody from different counties and states, different communities and stuff, and locked them up in the same prison. White people, hillbillies, country people, city niggas, all this shit, right? And when they get in there, it's a different story. Now it's about how I'm gonna come. That's the first thing you think about when you get in prison. How is I'm gonna come? You got too much pride to jack off, but sooner or later you'll do it. You got too much. You know you'll run out of all the girls you done fucked on the streets. That's old now. You got these sisters walking around with these big old booties and titties and big thick lips, wet lips with gloss and shit all around their lips, ready to suck something. Your man start playing tricks on you. Then you start looking at them like, God damn, that's a badass motherfucker. Then you sneak around, try to do it secretly, you know, where ain't nobody watching. Get you some head, right? The sisters is feeding in on it. They go on and give you some. But the gay people nowadays, they totally different from the gays in the 70s, in the 80s and 90s. The gays nowadays, they fucking. They fuck whatever they get, right? It used to be a time gay people would pay a motherfucker for some dick, but now they slinging dick. And the motherfucker they sling dick to end up paying them now. So it's a flip of the script, right? At a time when gay people used to patrol neighborhoods and communities, and even in prison, wanting to pay out some money for some dick. But nowadays, they charging motherfuckers, and they fucking them. So, I've been through a whole lot of shit, man. You know, I'm a child that they threw in an adult prison around all this corruption. But I seen in my 40 years, I seen so much shit, man. I seen so many killings and corruption, and I seen so many bribes. I can talk about something right now on this camera. I'm gonna just say it right here. To the Department of Correction in Frankfort, Kentucky, to the commissioner, I know things about you right now, about your department, that if I was to speak it right here on this camera, they would probably shut down your department. They'll shut down a whole lot of these prisons. I know a whole lot about murders and killings and corruption and bribes and the things that y'all was doing. Polices that was. I want to say this part. I'm going to leave this in your man. I want the police department to listen to this. This is to the police department. Here's what I know. And I got a nephew that is the leading. My nephew is the leading detective in Atlanta homicide. He's the leading, his name is Jeff. Love you, Jeff. Now check this out. I know something. Well, some polices got killed.
That's all you gotta say. I'm cutting you off.
Yeah.